The day has finally come. It is upon us. Nope. Okay. Woo, guys. My core might be a thing for me in 2026. Welcome to the video party, people. I'm actually time for a breather, and in this week's video, I'm going to show you all of the things I have bought for a brand new spring wardrobe. Let's get into this video. All right, so first up, people, we are going to go over some ThredUp finds here. Now, I do have a bunch of stuff that I also got from the local thrift store near me, but I did start out looking on ThredUp because honestly, let's be real, I'm always on there. This is not sponsored in any capacity. I just love secondhand clothing a bit too much, but I was also looking for some like very specific things, and it's a lot easier to be able to like search online, you know what I mean? Ooh, okay. First up, people, let's go over why it might be a bad idea to order online, because y'all know I only wear a few specific tones of red, and this here is orange. It might seem like a little bit red on camera. It's almost like a burnt orange. This is from Promisa, and it was this really cool dress with this really nice detail. This is also like very heavy though. This was definitely more of like a winter piece, but also like, how are you going to figure that out online? I mean, obviously I do look at material, but also everything can always be cotton or wool or linen, but it's like, well, I don't know the thickness of that, so it's not like super relevant. Okay, yeah, this was $7. So despite the fact that, please believe I will not be wearing this is just not my color. I've been loving like an accent arm and more of like a shapeless body. I mean, granted, y'all know I always love like a super shapely body, tight fitting number, because I do love my curves no matter how lumpy they may be. But I've been loving like maybe getting a little bit into accentuating a few different body parts, specifically my arms, you know? So that's why I was really excited about this. I'll still try it on because I do want to see if the overall fit of it, the shapelessness of it, is something I want to continue to try to seek out in the future. All right, guys, I think I am giving a little bit too much grandpa in a nightshirt in this. To be fair, I think that's more just the length of this. Like if this was like up to here, I think it might be like a little bit more of a vibe. Guys, check out the sleeveness on here, okay? Here's the thing. I like the sleeves. I don't that's not a past tense. I do not currently like the shapelessness of this. Not only is I think the length would be a lot more fine if this was like a tighter fitting garment just all together. This just wouldn't be for me anyway. However, I do think this is for somebody. This is, I think, for a more mature lady who doesn't like showing their legs as much as I do. But also, I think I do want a form-fitting dress, even with statement sleeve. Next red piece by H&M. This was $5.50, and this is specifically divided from H&M. I always love all the styles of it, though let's be real, it's H&M, so the majority of it is very thin. Thinness, as long as it's covered thinness, is actually like a benefit in springtime. And this is kind of like a halvesy off the shoulder crop top. I think it might do like a half, like it cuts through your shoulder cap a bit, like that style, not fully off the shoulder, because I hate full off the shoulder because then you can't move your arms. I like mobility in my clothing, but luckily this is at least the right red tone, and it has this cute lettuce trim. But let's see what this like actually shoulder action is all about. Look at what I mean about this half shoulder business. I think this off the shoulderness is a-okay for actual like mobility purposes. Now for style purposes, I do love the lettuce trim. I do think this is a little bit not cropped enough, because since I wear such high-waisted pants here, I do like to have like a little sliver of skin showing. Now granted, again, this is for springtime, so I don't want like a full basically bralette type moment, you know what I mean? But I do want a little bit of something showing. Otherwise, I'd wear a shirt that goes tucked in or is like fully over my pants. So I might have to do a little cropsy, a little bit of cutting here, even though I do like the lettuce trim. I think that's like a nice, cute little dainty little feminine touch on an otherwise pretty like basic top. Actually, no, I take that back, because this, I've seen many an off the shoulder shirt, obviously. Is this a boat neck, or is this too much shoulder showing to be considered a boat neck? I'm not entirely entirely sure. I'm pretty friggin' happy, especially considering the color worked out. Another $5.50 find, guys, and this is also from H&M. This is a little sweater, not vest, but sleeveless top type moment. I think this looks like in the very chic category of clothing, which I do like delving into from time to time, even if I'm wearing a bold color. But as you guys know, I'm also not the biggest pattern person, and even when it comes to like stripes like this, I'm usually not the biggest fan, but this is just like a little bit of something extra. Also, if you saw my Halloween Addams Family video, y'all know I loved me a black and white striped moment in that one, and so I'm still kind of on it. The only thing I was hesitant about is, again, the colors online, you don't know what they are. I wasn't entirely sure if this was more of like a cream off-white or like a bright white, but it is, I think, somewhere in the middle. So much so that I think if you're like a little bit away from me, especially with this deep black they have, I think you would clock this as bright white, but it actually is like a little bit on the off-white end of things, but nothing I'd really be that bothered about. I want to specifically for these type of heavier knit tops that obviously don't have sleeves, I think you're more meant to wear them with some sort of sleeve top underneath, or at least maybe like a jacket underneath if you want to do like a little business casual moment. But I think I want to do like a white button down, maybe like a poofier arm underneath, just to see what that vibe is and get a little bit more texture into it, because again, I am loving the accentuating the arm type moment. Are we seeing the vision here, people? Like this whole vibe, we got a poofy accent textured sleeve with this stripy number over top. Also, this white shirt is a little bit loose and a little bit see-through, so much so that I can't wear it just like on its own. So this coming in clutch to cover up the necessary parts, but also adding like a little bit of something. This is like, someone would look at this and be like, that bitch tried. Yes, she did. She tried to do something. Maybe she didn't fully get there, because I don't know if these bottoms are really doing it for me. I do think people will be like, oh, she definitely tried something here. And also, this is so incredibly comfortable. Like, I can even tell, like, if I wanted to just wear this, I think not only it would look good, but it would be like the softest thing ever. All right, here was a real wild card, guys. This is a long skirt from HL. Who knows what that is? I am not a long skirt type of woman, generally speaking, unless it's like, you know, your evening gown, but like, where am I going with the evening gown? But I only kind of like that type of like more formal moment when it comes to long dresses. But again, I'm trying to step out here, also make sure my legs are at least covered with something in the springtime when it's still like pretty cold out. So I got this for $6.50. It is like probably gonna go right to the floor on me, but it has these like darts here where it comes out only like maybe right at the knee and then goes out. But then within the dart, which I thought was so cool, it has like a bedazzled moment on either side here. And these are like just straight up more silver type embellishments. So I love just a little extra embellishment, a little extra something at the bottom. And I think this is gonna be tight fitting at the hips. And also this is the right red tone. We love it. Let's see how it looks. All right, guys, are we seeing the vision? I do think I was expecting this to go fully to the floor. This is kind of like a full ankle length on me. Here's the thing. I definitely did pull this up, I think, a lot further than most people. Again, because I definitely want this to cover entirely my stomach. What if I, hold on. If I pull it, oh God. All right, I'm not, at least it has to be above me belly button, okay? Is that doing something? Are we, oh God, no. Nope, okay, no, it needs to be up there. Thank you so very much. Okay, we're just gonna move on. I do like, again, having a little sliver of skin showing, but since I did pull it up so far, it's definitely not to the floor, which, two things. It's pretty wet in the spring. You don't want your clothes dragging on the ground. They're gonna get wet, dirty, pick up debris, everything, little animals, you never know. So we definitely want to keep our clothes up off the ground for actual practicality. I mean, you can't really have both in most circumstances, especially when you're wearing something this like bougie. We have bedazzlements on a full red skirt. What are we doing here? And she got pleats. Okay, so I think this is best case scenario. Maybe if if it was like inch longer, I think I would be good. She's such like a unique item and pretty good material at that for under $10 is pretty great. So I'm not really complaining. All right, guys, we got a dress here. $7.50 from Popular 21. This is more of a standard bodycon type dress. I do have red bodycon sleeveless dresses already, but they're all micro mini short. So I'm like, let me pick one up that is actually long enough to where I could still wear some fleece line leggings underneath. And you can't see like the seam of the leggings underneath because again, those other dresses I own are like that short. Also, I've never heard of this brand, but this is very heavy. It's also ribbed, which I love for a form-fitting moment. But luckily this is also really thick because it is a sleeveless moment. I'll have to wear like something with sleeves underneath or like a little jacket. Let's see how it looks. Guys, look at how adorable this is. It's giving like kindergartner with like bibs on, putting on some nude fleece lined leggings and going out the door. I think this would be so adorable. And ooh, wait a minute. What if with like a cute little matching bag? Now we've gotten a bit retro, just like by adding this little accessory. So honestly, this dress is good to go. All right, guys, our last actual clothing item for ThredUp. I decided to take a gamble and not just buy something that wasn't on sale because all of these items that I've had except this one has been on sale. But also I decided to be a gambler and buy jeans off of ThredUp. Now, buying jeans online at all is already a gamble. Buying thrifted jeans where you truly have no idea how the fit is going to be, because at least if you order from an online shop in which maybe there's a bunch of reviews for that sizing online, or maybe you had that brand like currently in your closet or previously, so you know what the fit is like on you from that specific brand. When it comes to secondhand clothing, even if you know that brand, it might have been stretched, shrunk, we don't know. So it's like the biggest gamble. Y'all know if you've ever been thrifting for jeans, it is like one of the hardest clothing items to find in any thrift stores. We'll see. But I specifically have been looking for a lighter wash, super high rise, and I mean damn near up to my titties, okay? I need it to be that high rise, as well as a wide leg. These were $13.99, which for any jean is still a pretty great deal. Honestly, even Shein jeans are way more expensive these days. And these are from Universal Thread. Yeah, and these are high rise, wide leg in a 6R. I am a petite girly, I'm pretty short. I don't have like the shortest legs though, so I don't always have to have the actual petite size of pants. Plus, I plan on wearing like chunkier shoes, like chunkier sneaks with these, which is gonna give me a little bit more of a height anyway, so I can go for like the regular size, but we'll see. Okay, this might be $14 straight down the tubes. Again, we will just pray to the thrift gods that this one works out. All right, we need to talk about a few things, okay? I will admit, I am on day 3 of my period. I've also, it's like 9 o'clock at night. I've also been eating cake all day. Like 3 separate times today, I've eaten at least a piece of cake. So I'm a little bit more bloated than normal. Now, granted, I was still able to get these clothes and I'm not like suffocating. So I think the waist situation, the tightness of it is a-okay. We'll be fine. The high-waistedness situation is also perfecto. A lot of times they say high-waisted in pants and especially jeans, and it's still only going to my belly button. That is not high-waisted, my dude. That is mid-rise. So love that. The only thing I have to complain about is the wide legness of this, because as you can see, I don't have any shoes on right now, but if I had sneaks on, actually let me put sneaks on real quick. So we have one leg sneaked and one leg not. As you can see, despite the fact they are definitely wide leg, they are looking straight leg on me. Now granted, again, I got these in a regular, not petite, so that's kind of like, I can't really complain about the scrunchiness of it, but if it is gonna scrunch, I want it to be even wider at the bottom so it doesn't like look like it tapers, because the scrunch has now tapered to where it looks gross. It just doesn't look right. It looks like ill-fitting straight leg jeans, which is not what I wanted. Absolutely not. So this is was kind of a fail. Oh, hold on. Hold the effing phone. Can you see, like, there's like a darker blue there? It's because someone let out the seam. Like, the original seam is like here. And then there's a dark blue that's supposed to be folded under. So these were literally damaged. They were altered. Yeah, they definitely were not sold that way. So ThredUp, I think you might need to do a little bit more inspecting prior to listing, because honestly, for me, it would have worked out a lot better. Now, granted, I can go over them. I do have a sewing machine that I do sew denim from time to time. It's a real pain in the butt. That would be an easy alteration in this case, which I think I might do, because I think I might solve like the scrunchiness problem to where these might look a little bit more wide leg. I'll see what I can do with these, because I do like the top of them a lot, and it is hard. It's usually like harder for me to find the top part of the jean that I like as opposed to the bottom, especially considering I can alter the bottom more easily than the top. At least it's not like an overall lose. I can salvage these in some capacity. If you love this video, then please show me some love by clicking that subscribe button. It is the easiest and a free way to make sure you get more of the content that you want to see, while also supporting my dream over here on this little corner of the internet. So thank you so much for your support. Back to the video. Guys, we need to have a talk about changes. We all change throughout our lifetimes, and if you've been on this channel long enough and have seen enough of especially my thrifting videos, you know not only do I love shoes in general, I love heeled shoes, and specifically very high heeled shoes, like 3 inches plus. That is my style preference if I'm going to wear a heel. Otherwise, I'm just gonna wear a sneak and call it a day. However, your girl is now 35. Okay, she's a full-blown woman. This past year, I was stricken with an illness, one amongst the worst, which is tendinitis. I really thought for a second I was having like blood pressure issues, because I already have that, and I thought they had like reached my legs. But then I went to my doctor, and she's like, what are you talking about? You have like stereotypical like foot pain. So all of that to say, I am almost like a full year out. I got all the insoles. I've been very careful, been doing all these stretches, blah, blah, blah. And I still am not 100%. Yeah, I am like 90%. I do fear that all of my years of wearing very high heels also contributed to the tendinitis. So for this spring, I have decided to get kitten heels. Yes, I know, the day has finally come. It is upon us. I have not gotten rid of really like a ton of my extra high heels, because I'm still hoping with a lot of insoles in them, I can still wear them from time to time. But I have like no super small heels in my collection, unless they're maybe like a boot, but that's it. So I got on ThredUp 2 pairs of heels here. First up, we've got just your basic pair of fake patent leather, little strappy with an ankle strap moment. These were only $7, because talk about jeans being hard to buy online. Shoes are also that, especially for me, because I have like wide feet as well. And obviously a lot of shoes do not come in wide. These are from 14th and Union, and these are a 6. And I think these were probably worn maybe one time, possibly just indoors. So for $7, that's a pretty darn good deal. On ThredUp, they only have like one side view and one front view of a shoe. And sometimes I'm a little scared if one, does the actual ankle strap unbuckle, if it is a buckle, because sometimes it's like a hook type situation, but you can't really see that off the photos. This one does actually unbuckle. So I know these were more of a basic, but I didn't have any in my wardrobe thus far. All right, guys, look at it. These fit so perfectly, and with these little socks, aren't they adorable? Oh my goodness. So I got a black pair, guys, and then I'm like, well, I need a white pair, obviously. These are from the Blue Sim collection. These are also a 6, and these were also $7. These have a lot of embellishment on them, so much so that I think these could possibly have been somebody's wedding shoes or like engagement shoes. I can tell these ones have been worn a little bit more. You can see like a little bit of the wear on the bottom there, but still not a ton. I mean, for $7, are you kidding me? Even all of like the jewels and pearls and everything on here, there's none missing as far as I can tell. So that's pretty darn great. Also, these have squish on the inside. Though let's be real, I'll probably be putting my own insoles in there. You see that? Is that even a heel? That's just like a part of a sole. That's not even like a 1/2 inch really. This This is basically like a flat. I naturally have very high arches, so I cannot even wear flats. And I'm not kidding. If I have a flat, I need to put so much insole in it to where on the inside is no longer a flat. I've basically made it into a heel. Go into the chapel and we're gonna get married. Guys, these shoes are beautiful. They are so pretty. They are most assuredly somebody's wedding shoe. I think these are such a great steal as well. All right, guys, let's go over some of the other thrifted items I got. Now, there is a chain of thrift stores near me called St. Vincent de Paul's Thrift Stores, okay? It's very much Salvation Army coded. If y'all have been thrifting a lot lately, you know that the prices at not only Salvation Army, but Goodwill have like been skyrocketing for no reason at all. However, St. Vinny's over here is still an actually reasonably priced thrift store, like a real thrift store. Because honestly, listen, at this point, for these prices that Goodwill and Salvation Army are starting to charge us, I'm about to put them into like the vintage store category, like the curated category. But St. Vinny's is still a regular ass thrift store. So let's go over a few items. Now, y'all know I just said that I'm trying to get like more red into my springtime fashion. However, I do still love pink, y'all know. And I got this cute, smart looking little polo, not polo, what is this? Like collared, like very Abercrombie coded back in the day, like your 2016 Abercrombie. However, this is a Ralph Lauren shirt, and this was $5.50, an actual thrift store price, especially for such a name brand. And despite the fact that this is obviously a white collar, there's nothing on this collar. Because let me tell you, what St. Vinny's does is they actually go through clothing, and clothing that is like stained, torn. If there's like a screen print and you know it's like crumbling apart, they don't do that there, okay? They are not like Salvation Army and Goodwill that will put especially a brand name item that is very clearly super damaged and still try to sell you for it basically full new price. I'm thinking about this to go a little bit even more into the preppy style, but we'll see when I put it on here. Oh, is she a member of the PTA all of a sudden? But honestly, this preppiness I am so into. I came of age in the early 2000s, and let me tell ya, preppy was in, and I cannot afford any of those clothes. So to really live it here is doing something for my psyche. I love that this is such a preppy fit while being in such an ostentatious color. Like it's kind of like skewing it a bit. Sometimes I want to get into a little bit more of like a business casual fit. And with this cute pink color, I think this top is really doing it for me. Guys, I'm not the biggest hat wearer unless it's like an actual beanie to keep warm in the winter. But I saw this. This was $3. It's a little knit beret. Oh my God, there's fuzzies flying everywhere from this. I've never worn a beret. So I'm like, for $3, is it worth... I look a little bit like Madeline, but that's okay. You know, I'll make this work. I am convinced I can make a beret work. And this is like a full knit one. It almost seems like it's wool. No, but it's 100% acrylic yarn. Tight. Honestly, for $3, I was willing to pick it up just to try to make it work to see if I can make a beret work. And it's red, oh, which is so cute. So we'll see how this one goes. Guys, I think I am 100% pulling off the beret look. I am so into this. I am kind of disappointed in myself for taking this long to try a beret. I love the look of this, the slouchiness. I am looking just a little bit mime with this all black outfit and the red. Honestly, I'm kind of into it. Mime core might be a thing for me in 2026. We don't know, okay? Oh, guys. Oh, we're not only taking it back late 90s, we're taking it back to like even I think the early 80s, because look what your girl found at the thrift store. Okay, this was $3.79. This is just like a time capsule of a skirt, not only because of this weird asymmetrical stripy pattern, but the neon with black thick stripes, as well as the fact that, as you can tell, this is like a mini skirt, maybe for late spring, you know, where I can wear some tights underneath, because again, I'm thinking like into that more retro 90s or 80s being retro, that more retro era where people wore black tights under more of like a black fit. I love that. Maybe like a side pony type situation. Get into it, everything. Again, I'm not the biggest fan of patterns, but this was was just too good. And ooh, guys, this is from Wet Seal. Y'all know Wet Seal was it back in the day. Woo, guys, look at this. She is very, very short, as you can see. But honestly, I love it. Oh, I love the shortness of it. Oh, I am in love with this skirt, even with like a plain black top and some like black pumps just going out in the who is she? She is me. We're gonna go over our Plato's Closet finds, which some people consider that thrifting. Some people are like, no, it's not. Anyway, I got for okay. When I went on this day, they were doing their winter clearance, but by winter, it's kind of like anything that's just been sitting around the shop for too long. It's not like specifically winter. It's not like winter clothing. It's like it is winter and we're doing a clearance sale. That's what they mean by their winter clearance. Anyway, a lot of these things I got for $1. So this is a Princess Polly top that was originally $3. I got for $1. It's like a tie it around and like a little halter situation. However, the reason I got this is I'm gonna use this as, I'm pretty sure, like a belt. That's what I actually wanted this for. I have one baby pink patent leather, faux leather belt, and that's the only pink belt I got. But I was like, ooh, a little satin hot pink belt number I think would look really cool on some stuff. So that's why I got that. Oh, I got this. This is a Shein t-shirt that I also got for $1 on clearance. The thing is, this is a really boxy t-shirt, which is what I wanted specifically to wear with like my wide leg jeans. Just like a fully like frumpy, but I'm meaning to be frumpy, but I'm a put together frumpy, like that whole fit. That's what I wanted. And I don't have any pink boxier t-shirts except one that's tie-dyed. And this was $1 because there's a bunch of like dirt and or other black stains on the bottom of it. I think I can get that out. But also, hey, listen. First of all, this was $1. It's also Shein. It's also super soft, I gotta be honest. I don't think anyone actually wore it or anything. If I'm buying something that is secondhand for $1, I don't mind in certain garments for it to be a little stained, a little worn. I don't mind looking like a certain threshold of disheveled is totally okay with me, especially when I'm in more of like a relaxed fit. Life comes at you fast. I don't know why anyone would think that every single garment you have should be completely lacking of life, like someone has lived in this clothing. Like, I don't really like that for a lot of stuff. For like formal fits, sure, but like for especially casual clothing, I'm like, what's the big deal? Who's looking that closely and that long? Even if they do clock it, they're gonna forget it 2 seconds later. For $1, I'm like, yeah, I'll pick that up. The only thing is, I'm like, how thin is this? How thin? I did try it on in the store, obviously, but sometimes those lights, it's like I can't tell. The shadows, the everything, is it really? This surprisingly doesn't look that see-through, especially for such a light color, especially being from Shein. So we'll see. Okay, so yeah, as I predicted, this shirt is a little bit see-through. Is this like a vibe? I've seen this before on some other women, and it seems like they have pulled it off somehow. You can see not the entirety of the bra, but like, you know, they know. Wait a minute, how's this go? They know, you know, that you can see under their shirt. Well, not under their shirt. They know you can see their bra through their shirt. There we go. Got it. They seem to be like chill about it. And again, like this whole kind of distress because it's a little stained or whatever. It's just like, I think again, this might be in the same type of vibe. It's like, oh, I'm just a lazy girl and I want to be comfy, but I want to look like I didn't try. I think I might be in that whole vibe. So I'm kind of feeling this shirt. It is also super comfortable. So for $1, can't really be mad. Up next, we have a pink rose. I don't know what that is. This was not on clearance. This was actually $10. This was an actual heavy non-see-through knit, because a lot of times these cheaper companies out here, when it comes to knits, it's like you can see everything through them. It's such like a loose knit or crochet. Like, you have to wear undergarments and you have to be okay with people seeing those undergarments under you. And I'm like, that's not the vibe most of the time for me. This is a medium, right? Yeah, this is a medium. But do you see how wide this is? Because it's meant to be like slouchy on the sides. Again, kind of a more disheveled look, because as you can see, the seams of it are actually sewn inside out. You're meant to see like the little ripple of the seams on here, just for that like overall, like I'm not that put together, you know what I mean? I've said this this in multiple other videos where I have gone to Plato's Closet. Plato's Closet has such affordable pricing, and they're only taking in things that are sure that they are going to sell. Therefore, there's not gonna be stuff that's really damaged in there. Granted, something slipped through the cracks, like that t-shirt and whatever, or maybe got like damaged at the store. For $10, this same thing, if I was to find this at Salvation Army, this pretty much brand new as far as I can tell, this would be closer to $20. I absolutely know it would. And at Goodwill, it would be even more expensive. It's just at least Goodwill has a lot more sales on a lot of their stuff than Salvation Army, so they kind of like equal out in the end. I would sometimes rather just go to Plato's Closet over any chain thrift store because I know everything in there is going to be good quality while still being like relatively affordable. Again, Salvation Army and Goodwill and all these other chain stores are starting to price themselves out of their own market. So for $10, something that's actually warm while still being cropped, we love it for the springtime. You see the fit of this, guys? Like, it's obviously super wide and everything, but once it goes down, it kind of like carves out like a shape, just like a comfortable vibe. You throw on the sweater, some jeans, some sneaks, out the door, good to go. And for the perfect pink shade, you guys know I have a problem when it comes to wearing different pink shades. I only wear a certain few type of pink tones. Also, I did not know until I put this on, these sleeves are the ultimate best sleeve ever. The sleeve cut and shape and whatever you want to call it. So it's like a little bit billowy of a sleeve, but the actual like cuff part is not only wide, it's far more tapered than the rest of it. Like that whole vibe of a sleeve, I love, especially in knitwear. So again, for $10, this is like a freaking perfect sweater and you cannot see under it. So, I mean, what more could I want? Thanks for hanging out with me today, party people. If you want to see any more of my content, then just click over here and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye. Also, guys, do you like my little accessories fit here? I have like, you know, just like a chunky chain, whatever. I am freezing in my apartment. It's Michigan. It's like, I think maybe 0 out right now. So I'm like, I want to wear my hoodie, but I need to like zhuzh this up a bit. I'm like, let me put on some necklaces. But then this necklace here, it's like together. It's not like 3 separate, but I also keep my necklaces in like a box. So it got tangled and I tried to untangle it, but I have better things to do. It like didn't take 2 seconds, so I'm like, I guess it's never gonna be untangled. But I'm like, what can I do to just cover up the tangle part? I got some brooches. Yes, sir, we're done. We might look like a goth trying to go to the gym, but I'm kind of into it.